All right, now for our final lesson. So let's start picking some numbers like 2.3 times 10 to the 4 times 2 times 10 to the 6 divided by 4 times 10 to the 3, the whole thing squared. Now, this is something that we can work through pretty easily on a calculator, and the numbers are not too bad either. If I multiply, remember when we're multiplying these numbers here will multiply each other while these powers will add. And again, that is all coming from a to the n times a to the m equals a to the m plus n. Remember that from algebra, right? Okay, so the powers get added up, because remember, if I write something like this, that's the same thing as multiplying. Multiplication has no order. You know, a times b times c times d is the same as b times d times c times a, or any combination. So here are 4 numbers, and that could really move around. So these two guys multiply each other. When these guys multiply, the exponents add. So basically, you would end up getting 2 times 2.3, 2 times 2.3 times 10 to the, add those powers, 6 plus 4. Now 2 times 2 times 3, I'm going to write this down here real quick, is 4.6 times 10 to the 10, all divided by 4 times 10 to the 3rd squared. Now this square will, basically, if you remember again from algebra, a to the m to the nth power, they multiplied here, didn't they? So basically what we'd have is the 4 would just get squared, so we'd have 4 squared times 10 to the 3 times 2, 6. So not adding, but multiplying. And so then we'd end up with 4.6 times 10 to the 10 divided by 16 times 10 to the 6th. And so 10 to the 10 minus 10 to the 6th is just going to give me 10 to the 4. So this would be 4.6 divided by 16, whatever that number is, times 10 to the 10 minus 6. And so that would be 4.6 over 16, which I'm going to guess is going to be a little bit, you know, more than a fourth, times 10, times 10 to the 10 minus 6 is a 4, and so that's what we got. Now 4.6 divided by 16 is 0.2875, so 0.2875 times 10 to the, I'll pull that down, I guess you guys, sorry about that, times 10 to the 4. And so again, just to go over this, I divide these and I subtract that. That's all that's going on here. When I divide this, I get this over here. And of course, now if I want to make this into scientific notation, where should my decimal be? That's right, right over there. It means I got to make this bigger or smaller. I hope you said bigger. If I make that bigger, I'm going to make that guy smaller. Yeah, so I'm going to make this 2.875 times 10 to the 3. And we're done. Now, I do want to show you how you would use your calculator to do exactly the same thing. So you would have 2, bring that over here, 2.3, and this is an important thing in case you don't use this. It's really a much easier key than trying to type in times 10 to the power. And I know you can do all that on your calculator. There's a really cool button here for the exponent right there, just second function on the comma key. So that gives you, that's the same as writing times 10 to the, and it's waiting for 10 to the what? So it's 10 to the 4 times 2 10 to the 6th divided by, you can open parentheses, 4 times 10 to the 3 squared. Boom. Now that number is in the standard form. That's in scientific notation. And it really is the same thing, and I hope you can see that. Of course, if I want to change this out of scientific notation, I would want to get rid of the 10 to the 3, so I'm going to be reducing this to make it 10 to the 0. We'd increase that, so that would be bouncing this 1, 2, 3 over, so it would be 2, 8, 7, 5. Okay, so really that's all there is to it. It's sometimes there's just more layers, and you just work through the layers till you work them all out. I hope this helps.